Your original hometown dealer, Saida, Trudeau Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
My name is Joshua Thalacker. I work for the U.S. Forest Service on the Spring Mountains National Recreation Area. I'm a fuel specialist, and I'm here to talk about a project that we have going on the mountain that's for some butterfly habitat restoration that's occurring up in the Wheeler Well area. The Spring Mountains is home to over 23 different types of plants that only occur on the Spring Mountains, nowhere else in the world. So it's a pretty special place. Some of these plants are plants for some butterflies. There's about 6 different species of butterflies that only occur on the Spring Mountains also. This project is specifically for the Spring Mountains Acacis butterfly and the Spring Mountains dark blue butterfly. In these areas, if you guys have been up there, it's closed canopy, pinyon juniper, and these plants don't grow very well, and animals can't walk through there, or some of the insects can't even fly through there. So we're trying to use some different types of vegetation management techniques, such as contracting out to thin the forest with chainsaws, and then the contractors stack piles, and then eventually we burn them. Another technique is mastication, and that's an excavator, and has a kind of a grinding head on it, and that grinds down the trees and the vegetation and separates the canopy and opens it up. And then another technique we're doing is cutting the trees down and taking a chipper in there, and the chipper will pick up the whole tree and chip the chips into smaller pieces than the masticator would. In some other areas up in the ponderosa type stuff, we can do some prescribed fire. So in the future, we may be doing some prescribed fire up in the Wheeler Well area. The Acacis butterfly and the Mount Charleston blue butterfly have been petitioned to be listed as threatened and endangered. The Fish and Wildlife Service determined that the Acacis butterfly didn't warrant it, but the Spring Mountains blue butterfly warranted some further studies. That's what this project is about, is to open the canopy, and hopefully we can expand the habitat of these butterflies because they only occur here. Part of the project too is for the public, to educate you guys to stay on designated routes. You know, we're going to open the forest up, and it may look like it's a road, but if it's not signed and designated, we ask that you please stay on those designated routes so we're not driving over these important plants. There's 2 plants up there. One is a host plant, and that's where they lay their larvae and eventually hatch and become a butterfly. And another one is the nectar plant, and that's like the flowering plant where they feed off of. If you go out to other places, let's say in the desert, we ask that if you could maybe wash the undercarriage of your 4-wheel drives and your UTVs. That way we don't bring in noxious weeds that can impact those habitats. A couple other areas not related to this project is Wheeler and Carpenter Canyons. They're very popular places and very beautiful places to get up into. They were highly impacted by the tropical storm Hillary. So it's very washed out. We just ask you to use caution. And if you don't feel like the conditions warrant, maybe try not to go up there until we can repair it in the future. We have a partner that has a website called Go Mount Charleston, and they put out a lot of good information about all sorts of activities that are happening on the Spring Mountains National Recreation Area.